Hey there, it's Chris Murray with Childcare Marketing Solutions, where we help childcare owners live their best life and take their business to the next level of success. And in today's video, I wanted to address a question that I get a lot, which is all about how and when you should be raising your tuition rates. And in fact, I just got this question yesterday again from Carrie. She's from Alaska, and she is one of our Childcare Success Academy members. And she asked us how to implement a rate increase. It's been a couple years for her. And so I thought you would benefit today from a video all about three kind of big things to consider when you're going to raise your tuition rates. First, let me say that it is a best practice to raise your rates annually. And so if you're not raising your tuition rates annually, you're definitely leaving some money on the table. Once you get used to the practice of doing it, it'll become very easy for you. And for a lot of folks and childcare owners, it's also a mindset shift because you are oftentimes nervous that parents are going to leave you when you raise your rates. And that's usually simply not the case. 99% of the time, most of our folks in the academy that we teach, when they implement a rate increase, they're doing such a great job in care, and parents are very not wanting to pull the children out of care. And so it's simply just not going to hurt your business if you do it well. So let me give you some tips on how to do it well. The first thing is to keep in mind is timing, right? Timing is everything. So we recommend that you increase your rates annually, and what might make the most sense is to do it at the re-enrollment time of year, the August-September timeframe, right? And a lot of our folks do annual increases at that time, September 1st. However, you can do them any time of the year, except we recommend to really kind of avoid the holiday season. People are kind of going through that post-Christmas hangover with their wallets, and so try to stay away from a January 1st increase would be my recommendation. I think if it's been more than 18 months that you've done an increase, you need to plan one for 2 to 3 months from today and get going on it and not wait until September. So I would recommend that you would do one, for example, on March 1st, and you could then give people a 30-day notice. You want to give some notice, and so I'll talk next about how to communicate it in a way that will be palatable and welcomed by parents, but give some time in between when you get that letter and that notice out. So you might target to get it out like February 1st, 30 days prior to your increase taking effect. Okay, so those are some things timing-wise to think about, and that is definitely a consideration. The second consideration is how you're going to communicate it. So we recommend that you do a letter and a physical letter to parents mailed home so that they are sure to receive it versus putting something in the cubby, and you know how that is. It's going to land on the floor of the car and not be seen. So half of your parents will be taken by surprise and taken aback, and that's not what you want. You definitely want to, just take the extra time to mail a physical letter home with a stamp. You know that they'll open it and read it, and also you can email blast as a supplement, and I would do both. Some parents are in the habit of just tossing their mail on the counter and not reading it. Most will read it, but secondarily, you can back it up with an email blast to all parents. So I think 2 methods of communication is great and very, very good practice. In the letter, you want to be sure to tell parents why you're doing the increase. It's a standard cost of living increase, right? We all, as consumers, have come to expect that from the businesses that we do business with. What will the increase support? We strive to get to that next level of quality. We're pursuing accreditation. We need to give our teachers a raise. We seek to hire even more experienced and tenured teachers in the future. And we also want to communicate what improvements we're planning to make over the next year or 6 months with this increase. The increase will support better classroom supplies, some new furniture, some iPads, and some playground upgrades, and maybe a splash pad or whatever. So giving parents and just people in general the reason why you're doing something in business will always help make it much, much, much more palatable, okay? So that's kind of how you would communicate it, is to put it in a letter, give them the reason why, give them the things that the increase will support, and be very matter of fact about it. Don't be apologetic in your tone. Again, it's a mindset thing. you're a business owner, not a charity. So it's okay and expected that you would do an annual cost of living type increase. Which brings me to my third point, which is how much of an increase should I do? And that was Carrie's main question from Alaska. 2%, 5%, 10%. What I'd like to see is if you're doing this annually to do what could be considered a cost of living increase, which would be around the 2 to 5% range. Something to consider when you're trying to figure out what these numbers are going to look like is where will you stand in your marketplace? Compared to your competition, where will this rate increase put you in that competitive set? If you're already at the top of your market and you're the most expensive in town, that's okay. That should not keep you from doing an increase. You just have to continue to communicate your value, how you're special. Maybe your ratios are way lower than your competition, and so you charge more to support that. That's fine, as long as your clients get that value, right? So the 2 to 5% increase is a good range. If it's been a long time, if it's been 4 or 5 years, I would maybe go a little bit higher. And that's the other consideration on your range is when's the last time you did an increase. But in general, I'd like to see that 2 to 5% range, but keeping in mind where you stand in your marketplace versus your competition. So that's it. Make a commitment to yourself and to your business annually to do this. It's a best practice. Don't worry so much about losing clients. It generally doesn't happen, especially if you're doing a good service and a good product. And communicate it well. Be confident and go forward and do this. So I hope that this has helped you think about doing a tuition rate increase, and let us know in the comments in the blog below if you have any feedback. We'd love to hear it. So this has been Chris Murray with Child Care Marketing Solutions, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.